melt is when I'm ocean waves.
Today on Nova Legends podcast, I have new Edison boys coach Tre Ford. Thanks, coach, for coming by, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, and thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Well, to say the least, it's been a tumultuous offseason for Edison basketball. Coach Henderson, Coach Lewis. At first, it appeared they weren't coming back. Now it looks like Coach Lewis is coming back, which for folks who know her, it's really good news. Just kind of explain your emotions when you heard you got the job at Edison. It must have been, a little bit of a crazy time for you as well.
Yeah, so this opportunity is something I've been waiting on for quite some time now. I've been an assistant for the last 8 years. I was an assistant at Wakefield for 6 years. Then I went on and moved over to Bishop Ireton for the last 2 years. And the whole process in getting hired at Edison, it was about a month-long process, I would say. Wow. It was 3 different interviews. One thing that we did a little different was we did a 30-minute practice. They brought 4 candidates back, did a 30-minute practice with a couple of the guys that were returners coming back from last year. But it was good. But that process, it was a long process. It was very nerve-wracking, I was nervous the entire time, just waiting to get that call. But when it finally came, like the excitement and the joy, I let it all out right there on that phone.
When did you know that you got the job? When did you hear with
it was
finality?
2 Fridays ago is when I found out that I got the job.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. You're a local product. You played at Stewart, now Justice. Just describe your career a little bit for us, and who did you play for at Stewart?
So I was fortunate enough. I played under Tony Harris and Kevin Harris.
Oh, you're there. Oh,
now
yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin Harris was now the coach at Westfield, and I was blessed as they were my coaches all throughout my basketball career, from when I was a kid all the way through high school. So they taught me everything that I know today as far as playing the game, learning the game. I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done for me, and that whole experience playing for them in high school, and then playing with the kids that I grew up with as well. That kind of got me to form that loyalty, that togetherness, and that family orient kind of vibe, and that's what I take into my coaching style as well.
Are you a Crossroads kid?
I'm not a Crossroads kid, but all my boys are. I'm a James Lee kid. I'm a James Lee kid.
Oh, you're James. Okay. So
yeah.
So how would you describe? So I played against Tony, football and basketball. So Tony, he was a year ahead of me at Fairfax. I think he transferred. He was an amazing football player. But he also was a great basketball player, a pure shooter. He reminds me a lot of Darren.
Yes,
How would you describe their coaching style?
So their coaching style, like you got to have tough skin to play for them, and I kind of took that into my style as well and implemented that. Like I tell my kids all the time, it's gonna be tough to play for me, but I'm gonna be here for you on the court and off the court no matter what. So they kind of instilled that toughness, that never back down mentality. Bringing that confidence out of me that I never knew I had in me. So playing for them was like one of the biggest blessings I could say I had in my life.
Yeah. How would you describe your playing style? And would you like to coach Tre Ford?
Oh, of course. Definitely. I'm a high IQ point guard. I will say that. I'm team first, so I know how it is to I would say take the back seat kinda and do what's best for the team. That's the words I want to use for it. So, but I'm a defensive guy. Like I'm picking up 94 feet full court. I'm communicating at all times, and those are things that I expect from my players as well. If I can do it, they can do it.
Exactly. So, who did you play for at Virginia Wesleyan?
I played under Dave Macedo at Virginia Wesleyan. He won the Division III National Championship in 2006, and in my opinion, he is one of the best coaches from the D1 level all the way down to the D3 level in college basketball, period. He taught me how to break down film, how to read tendencies. That coaches-player relationship on and off the court. Like he's one of those guys that I will keep in my corner until I'm not here anymore.
Oh, yeah. So it sounds like he plays a kind of an in your face, a tough style. What else did you learn from him in terms of tactics and X and O's?
Oh, well, he's a big film guy, and film and before getting to college, we didn't really do too much film in high school. But as I got into college, I saw how important film was. So
Okay.
he was the one that taught me to read the tendencies in film, read of my opponents, the X's and O's of every. We knew every single set that every single team was going to run against us before we even got out there, and that's something that I'm going to implement at Edison. Like I'm going to prepare these kids more than they know right now. Like they're going to know what every team is running. They're going to know the players' tendencies before we get out into the game. So just that preparation aspect and preparing us for our opponent was like one very, very big thing that I took from Coach Macedo and that I'll implement at Edison as well.
Did you know you wanted to be a coach when you were playing in college?
So I did not at all. I didn't know I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to play for as long as I could play for. However, Coach Bentley did come to me when I was at Virginia Wesleyan after a game, and he told me, after you graduate, if you need a job, I have a spot for you on my sideline. So after college, I graduated. I went overseas for a half a year. I was in Spain. I was in a tragic event over there. A terrorist attack had happened right while I was over there, and that caused me to like see a different aspect in life, and saw that being away from my family wasn't something that I wanted to do for a long term. So that's when I came back home, got right to the sidelines, and I fell in love with coaching ever since.
So you've been at Bishop Ireton as an assistant for a while. Who was the head coach there, and what did you learn from him?
Oh, Dwayne Bryant's the head.
Oh, the Georgetown guard.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dwayne Bryant is great. Like he's amazing. And a couple key things that I took from him is the fact of like how important footwork, body control, and different things like that are into the game. He taught me how to break down different zone defenses to like a high level extent. Cause him playing at Georgetown, it only upped his knowledge of the game even more playing under playing for John Thompson, playing for Big John at that. So yeah, Coach Bryant's knowledge of the game is like well beyond my years right now, but it's great for me to be able to learn from him these last 2 years and soak up all that knowledge, because at the end of the day, I'm still a student of the game.
How long were you assistant coach for Coach Bryant?
This I was for the last 2 years.
That's 2 years. Okay.
Yeah, my first year was that COVID year, so we didn't really have a season.
Okay.
And then last year was my first full WCAC season.
Oh wow! So you're a young coach.
Yeah, I'm 31 years old, so okay. I say I'm right in the middle.
Yeah. So there was a player that transferred from Bishop Ireton to Potomac Public last year, because I saw him play in the regionals. So all of a sudden, Potomac shows up in the regionals with a stacked team, and they hadn't done that well during the year. Unfortunately, their best player, Kyle Honore, passed recently. But this player, I believe, is Jaden
Harris.
Jaden Harris. What happened to Jaden Harris at BI? He's a tremendous player, right?
Yeah. Jaden Harris is a great kid. Amazing family he comes from. It's just like that. The private school and the public school, like it's a whole different beast on this side. And like I feel like in that private school aspect, you got to really trust the process. Like things aren't going to be handed to you right away, especially when you're a transfer coming in. Like you have to put that work in. You got to put that time in. You got to trust what's going on. And not all guys do that. And I mean, it's part of it. But Jaden is a great kid. He's having a great career at Potomac. I still keep in contact with him, and he's going to do great things at the next level.
Yeah. So you coach in the private school ranks. Which do you prefer, private school ball or public school ball? I mean, basketball is basketball, but with public school, you have more of a community feel, and you have to coach the kids that are in your building, and you have to convince kids that are in your building not to go somewhere else, like the Bishop Ireton. So, what more fits your skill set?
So I'm a public school kid, so I'm gonna say the public school scene kind of fits myself, because I'm very big on development, player development. So you get kids in the public school that may not have been playing basketball all their lives. They may have picked it up a little bit late, whereas most of the kids in private school, especially in the WCAC, they've been playing the game for forever since they were young kids. So the public school aspect, those kids may need a little bit more development. They may need a little bit more time with you off the court as well, just learning the game a little bit more. But me being big on player development and teaching the game, I feel like the public school side is what fits me best.
Did you enjoy working with Jamie Kaiser?
Of course, Jamie Kaiser. Me and Jamie Kaiser, we talk about every other day, I would say. But that kid right there is amazing. His work ethic is off the charts. Like he deserves everything that he's getting and everything that's coming his way because he puts the work in. He's a student of the game. He asks questions and he doesn't take days off.
Yeah, no question. So now you're going to Edison, and so I went to see Edison play last year a few times. This team had talent. This guy, Michael Matano, I think, about a 6'6" swing guy. They must have had 3 kids over 6'6".
Yeah.
You know, they had talent. You know, Coach Anderson does a good job. That team was missing something, but they had talent. You could tell they could almost be at the next level. What do you have coming back, and what do you have looking going forward?
Well, I know I have 5 seniors in Ruben Garces, Cameron Kirka, Nader Churchy, Will Merrick, and Cooper Herman. Those are my 5 seniors. And then we also have a good junior in Teddy Morgan. And then we have a sophomore who's also a transfer from Bishop Ireton, Anthony Saunders. So those 7 guys are going to lead the way for us pretty much. And I'm really harping on those 5 seniors to really take some leadership and really go down that road with me and let them know that my voice, they need to be a reflection of me. They need to be holding kids accountable as I'm holding kids accountable, because I tell them every single day, they don't get this senior year back. Like, this is it for them. We're going to, like I told the guys at workouts the other day, we're playing this year for our seniors. Like this year is for them. And I know I'm a new coach coming into it. They've had Terry for the last 3 years. So I just want to make sure that their senior year, they go out with a bang, positive attitude, positive energy, and just make sure that they're comfortable with me at all times and they accept me. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. But we do have some size. Inside, we have Nader Churchy back. He was the defensive player of the year in the conference last year. Teddy is about a 6'6" wing, and Saunders is a 6'4" point guard. So we're going to be pretty big. We're definitely going to harp on the defensive end of the floor. I will tell you that right there. Yeah, I tell the kids, if you can't play defense, it's going to be hard to get minutes from me. So that's what you will see. You will see us playing hard every single possession. You'll see us communicating and getting up and down.
Well, you mentioned defense. Have you decided exactly how you're going to play that? You've coached for some great coaches, Coach Bryant, the coach you had at Virginia Wesleyan, and then the Harris brothers. Have you decided exactly how you want to play, or are you still kind of formulating that? Because this is all pretty new news.
Right. Yeah. So I'm still feeling the kids out, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to change my dynamic, my aspect up right now. But my way of playing it is full court pressure, 94 feet, forcing teams to beat us from the outside, not allowing paint touches, really making everything tough inside if they're coming in there. So that pack line defense, I'm really a fan of it. I'm a fan of UVA basketball. I'm a diehard Duke fan, but I'm a fan of that pack line defense.
You started out so well.
I know I started off right.
and then you blew it. Well, Coach, one thing about Edison, and I was surprised, is what a great environment the games had last year. I mean, tremendous crowd support. I don't know if it was like the post-COVID bump. I don't know what was going on, but they had great crowds there. Are you excited about getting with the student body? And are you in the building full time?
So I will be in the building starting next school year.
Okay.
This school year, I'm finishing out at Bishop Ireton working here.
Right.
So I'll be over at Edison next school year. But that environment at Edison, like, I am so excited for it. I can't wait for that first home game when they shut those lights off and they do that player introduction and all that good stuff. Like, I'm super excited for that. I'm going to connect with the student body myself, make sure that the kids get connected as well, pack those home games out, and really make Edison one of the toughest places to play in Northern Virginia.
Yeah. Well, Coach, look, thanks for making time for me. It's great to meet you. I wish you the best of luck. Edison, so I've done quite a few of these interviews, and Edison has a rich tradition in basketball. I mean, obviously the girls' side was Coach Lewis is built, but also you go back to the 60s with Coach Carl Hensley, Steve Morris, Pat Toomey played in the NFL, but all-state basketball player. When I was playing, a guy named Paul Wilder, Derek Sims. Edison's got a rich basketball tradition, and I get the feeling they're in really good hands with you. I wish you the best luck. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't wait to meet you as well.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for making time. We'll talk soon.
You have a great one.
You too, buddy. Take care.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye.